We were born before the wind, also younger than the sun, and the bonnie boat was one as we sailed into the mystic. Hark now, hear the sailors cry. Smell the sea and touch the sky. And let your soul and spirit fly into the mystic. And when that foghorn blows, know that I'll be coming home. And when that foghorn blows, I want to hear it. And I don't want to fear it. I want to rock your gypsy soul. And just like way back in the days of old, together we will flow into the mystic. Foghorn blows, know that I'll be coming home. And when that foghorn blows, I want to hear it. Oh, I don't want to fear it. I want to rock your gypsy soul. Oh, just like way back in the days of old. And together we will flow as we sailed into the mystic. Come on, come on, come on.
Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Toronto. My name is Tanis. We are so grateful. So grateful to have Stephen Blair back with us.
Missed you.
Missed you. Yeah. Sad reason why we have you back, but we're so grateful to have you back. So, on to some housekeeping. If you are new to us for the first time, or here with us for the first time today, welcome. Welcome to everybody who's watching at home. On your program that you were given, there are lyrics to songs we're doing today, as well as some announcements. And I'm just going to point you to The workshop for next week, we have sign up online, sign up in the bookstore. One Step Health, they're from Los Angeles, yes? Yes, so fantastic workshop next Sunday after service, so sign up. All details are on the website as well. So please join us for that. Classes, everything is also set up on the website, everything you need to know on your announcement sheet or online for those of you who are joining us there. So let's move on and get started and call up to join us Reverend Jonathan Zenz.
Good morning. How is everyone this morning? Okay, well that was really convincing. How is everyone this morning? Amazing! I'm so grateful to have you all here. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living. Let's just kick it off. This is a new song to this center.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Y'all ready?
Sure.
All right. You'll catch on. The lyrics are on your sheet. You'll catch on. I see joy, I see peace, I see goodness surrounding me. I see love in every breath I breathe. I see God in everything. I see happiness, I see freedom. I see the beauty that lives in me. I see perfection in what life brings. I see God in everything. That's pretty easy, right? Now we sing I feel joy, I feel peace. I feel goodness surrounding me. I feel love in every breath I breathe. I feel God in everything. I feel happiness, I feel freedom. I feel the beauty that lives in me. I feel perfection in what life brings. I feel God in everything. Then we do a key change and sing I know. I know joy, I know peace, I know goodness surrounding me. I know love in every breath I breathe. I know God in everything. I know happiness, I know freedom. I know the beauty that lives in me. I know perfection in what life brings. I know God in everything. I know God in everything. Namaste, 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 namaste. I know joy, I know peace, I know goodness surrounding me. I know love in every breath I breathe. I know God in everything. I know happiness, I know freedom. I know the beauty that lives in me. I know perfection in what life brings. I know God in everything. I know God in everything. Namaste, 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 namaste. Okay. I kept my hand up. You weren't quite sure what to do with that. Hey, Dane, do me a favor. On this channel, can you just pull the gain down a little bit for me? That would be amazing. I'm just going to keep talking until it sounds a little bit more. Does that sound a little better? Just a little different today. Anyway, welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living. I want to start off today with something that was brought to my attention on Facebook this week. Okay, I'm going to tell you, Dane, to do one more thing. Pull the gain down. When you select my channel, on the board right above where it says EQ, there's a light that's lit up right says EQ. Yeah, and no, there's actually a button. Sorry. We're going to do a technical thing real quick here. On the EQ, right down at the bottom, there's a lighted button. Just hit that button. Does that sound better now? Yeah, I think it sounds much better now. Okay, so welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, where we address technical issues, when we feel like it. There was something that was brought to my mind, brought to my attention on Facebook this week by Tom, who comes to the center frequently. I think, Tom, you're watching us online today, as you do often as well, and great to have everyone joining us online. He sent to me this thing that was on The Mind Unleashed, and I just wanted to read it because it really does stand for what I believe with respect to the nature of God, because I use the word God a lot, right? And people have discussions with me about the word God and what it means, and this, I think, clarifies what I stand for so beautifully. Here's what he sent to me. It said, God is consciousness, not a creator. God is the source of creation itself. It, not he or she, it is not independent of you. It is the totality of everything. So, when I call myself God, I am not talking about my personal self. I am talking about the expression of the God self that rests inside of me. The verb, the energy, not the noun. Once you think God is a noun, a person, place, or thing, you separate yourself from it and immediately become a limited being. That is what separates the believers from the knowers. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It just encapsulates everything for me, which I believe about the nature of this divine creative energy. And we call it the divine creative energy. We call it love. You know, there are many names for it. But it is a consciousness. It is an idea. It is not a personality. It is a principle. It is the only creative principle. It is the reason that we exist, is to express God. That's why we're here. And that's what we celebrate here on Sunday mornings. Yes?
Yes.
Awesome. We do it through music, which is a great creative outlet. It is such a great creative outlet, and one that really resonates with me. And it kind of went in line with, we chose this song before that quote kind of came out, and it kind of just all melded together perfectly today. That song, by the way, is how we used to, for about a decade at the NoHo Arts Center for New Thought, which is now the Global Truth Center, James Mellon's center. That was the song that we ended every single service with. And they were in a thing where they would do the same music every week except for one song, which I never wanted to do here. Sorry, James. I always wanted to have a variety of music and have it change every week, so that was really important to me. I've now moved this lectern out of the way, and I'm about to introduce somebody who will most likely be utilizing it. So we have practitioners within the center, and it's frequently asked, what is a practitioner? A practitioner is someone who knows the truth, and that's really what it boils down to. Licensed practitioners within this philosophy are people who are qualified through this organization to sit with people and pray with them, pray for them, pray on their behalf, to know something into this God consciousness, so that there can be shift in people's lives. They have spent time getting the shift down in their own lives, and that's what's really important, is because we must take care of the self before we can care for anybody else, and these are people who have committed their lives to that. Our practitioner today is a beautiful soul who has helped me in many ways. She has helped me physically. She's a chiropractor. And she has done adjustments on me when I have needed them. I'm grateful to her for that. But she has also done some spiritual mind adjustments for me as well. And for that, I am also truly grateful. So please welcome, with her words of wisdom and inspiration today, Sha Rose Morale.
Thank you, Jonathan, you beautiful divine light. Oh, gosh. I love you. I love each and every one of you. And I love being here, because being here actually brings through certain things that I don't even know anything about. So thank you. Thank you for allowing me to stand here in front of you. And certainly today is one of those times where I am aware I have prepared a number of things, and I am inviting the Spirit that moves all of us and is in us, to just bring forth what is to be heard today. And the first place I'm going to is the denials and affirmations of Emma Curtis Hopkins. The first one that says, there is no evil. There is no wrong, there is no right, there is no evil. There is only God. So there is no evil. My good is my God. There is always a confusion as to what God is because of race consciousness. My good is my God. My God is life, truth, love, substance, intelligence, omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent. Beyond that which I can comprehend, God comprehends and works through me and releases through me the power, the potency of what is needed in this moment, in every moment. So that is great, that is wonderful. Well, I had an event happen on the 1st of June. I had an event happen where I was in a car accident, technically my fault, where my car was a write-off. Well, that is an event that sounds like, oh my God, right? Oh well, how terrible. But I knew no fear in that moment, and I walked, people were on hand immediately. I mean, they were so on hand. In 3 hours, I was in my office with a rental car. The accident having been reported and the car being at an auto body shop. Now, the reason I bring this in is when I started in this philosophy, in this work over here, one of the things I was looking at is, gee whiz, me as being God? Really? Let me take that on, because that would have been blasphemous in a certain way for me. So I took that on as God, as being the co-creator, that I am God as the co-creator. And also the other thing that was important for me was the realization that I wanted a team around me. I wanted to be working cooperatively. So one of the clear things that happened for me within the hour of that accident was an image, a sense, a symbol of God up there, chuckling, looking down at me, going, I've got your back. All of these things could happen because people lined up to show me the way. I didn't need to know anything. I haven't had an accident ever. How was I to know what you need to do? In fact, the first words after the accident were, I don't know what to do. So, the second thing is divine order. The mandate of my last year as a practitioner student was divine order. And boy, oh boy, yeah, the good Lord, I'll call him so, because I need a him. There was a good lot of her and feminine energy, but I needed that activity, that agency. Took things in their hand, so I've just accomplished sorting out a number of papers that were critical for me to sort out as a citizen. That income tax stuff, right? Well, that happened. I pulled a marathon, I do not know how, with this particular physical body, and it happened. It happened, and I handed my pile of goodies, my good is my God, to my accountant on Friday. My God is my life, truth, and love, and substance. All that substance went out there for the perfect intelligence to do what it needs to do, not me, that particular principle. But going through the papers, I came across something that I texted to Carmen when Reverend Barbara was the minister and the spiritual director over here. So I wanted to share with you that particular thing because it perfectly expressed an inherent expression of who I am. So here it goes. Ready? This is a journey. Good morning. This is your Captain God speaking. Welcome aboard, Infinite Grace and Harmony. Your journey today will include peace and joy. Acceptance, insight, and duality will be stops on the way. You can disembark at serenity or laughter, and you can put on the seatbelt or have a bumpy ride. Regardless, God awaits at the other end. Bon voyage. So, what is clear for me is that I've always expressed and enjoyed joy, but the laughter piece, and we affirm a number of qualities of God, but laughter and humor is not often talked about as a quality. It is an expression of joy and delight and serenity and intelligence. And I certainly can have a very dry humor. So anyway, my affirmation includes laughter. So I will speak that once, and then I will invite you to repeat that after me. Okay? Okay. I choose joy and laughter in this moment.
I choose
Joy and laughter in this moment. I choose joy and laughter in this moment. Thank you very much.
That's great. Thank you. Stay right there. Take it all in. Let's all take it all in. I love what you bring, and I love the reminder that God is to each and every one of us what it is to each and every one of us in a very personal way, because God as consciousness is personal and as close as our own consciousness is to us. And so, take a breath and understand and know the beauty of the world that is all around us. I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, the bright blessed day, the dark sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. So I'm going to invite everyone to take a breath. Allow yourself to go to that centered place of awareness of the consciousness that is all around you. It is within you. It is exactly who and what you are. And from this place of centered awareness and with a breath, I invite you to be open and receptive to these words of Charose.
What a wonderful world it is, and it is God. Simply God energy in and around me, and being each and every person in this room and online. God being the wall, God being light, God as love that shines through and appears as grace giving of itself to life, to itself, to each and every person. For each and every person is cherished, is held in the arms of love, in this world, as love, as light. And I know that gently, easily, safely, securely, everything other than that which is the truth falls away effortlessly. I know this, I receive this, and I know each and every person who hears this simply allows themselves the opportunity to vibrate to this level of understanding easily and harmoniously. And I'm so grateful for each and every person, for the multiplicity, for the wonderful divine flowering of life as each and every person, to dance with, to rejoice with, to play with, to laugh with, to be in life with. And with this gratitude, with this love, and with this knowing, I release this word into the law of mind. And I simply say, and invite you to say, and so it is.
The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people passing by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, "How do you do?" They're really saying, "I love you." I hear babies cry, I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Thank you. Thank you, Charose. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. This is a great song that Pierre has brought to us this week. We've done it before. It's one of my favorites, and I will let you in on the little secret that he tells me the next time we do this, I'm supposed to sing it. He actually walked in this morning and said, "Do you want to sing the song today?" And I said, "If you had asked me 3 days ago, I would have prepared." I don't know it as well as you think I know it. That's the thing. I do need rehearsal. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? No, and I need lots of rehearsal. Have you ever seen me try to dance? It's scary. What? Now, here with Man in the Mirror, please welcome Pierre Gautreau and the Queen Street Band.
Just keep it going. I'm gonna make a change for once in my life. It's gonna feel real good, gonna make a difference. I'm gonna make it right. As I turned up the collar of my favorite winter coat, this wind is blowing my mind. I see the kids in the street with not enough to eat. Who am I to be blind, pretending not to see their needs? Summer's disregard, a broken bottle top, and one man's soul. They followed each other on the wind, you know, 'cause they got nowhere to go. That's why I want you to know I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways, and no message could have been any clearer. And if you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and make that change, yeah. Na 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 na. I've been a victim of a selfish kind of love. It's time that I realized there are some with no homes and not a nickel to loan. Could it be really me pretending that they're not alone? A willow deeply scarred, somebody had his broken heart and a washed out dream. They followed the pattern of the wind, you see, 'cause they've got no place to be. That's why I'm starting with me. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. Oh yeah, I'm asking him to change his ways. And no message could have been any clearer. And if you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and make that change. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. Oh yeah, I'm asking him to change his ways. And no message could have been any clearer. And if you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and make that. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways. And no message could have been any clearer. And if you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and make the change. You got to get it right while you got the time, because when you close your heart, you close your mind. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways. And no message could have been any clearer. And if you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and make that change, yeah. Ooh, make a change, yeah. Na 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 na.
Pierre Gautreau and the Queen Street Band. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. Let's all commit to making that change, starting right here, right now, today. To more deeply understanding the self that we see when we see that image reflected back to us. That image that we see reflected back to us is simply the expression of this divine energy as each and every one of us. And that's good news. That is such good news. I feel light. I feel light today. I could have said I feel light in the loafers today, but that would be a little too on the nose. Yeah, I'll wait for you, the rest of you, to get that. I feel good today. That's what I mean when I feel light. The band, ladies and gentlemen. I called today's talk Spiritual Boot Camp, and the idea of spiritual boot camp goes back to my days early on when I was learning to, well, actually I was in early studies, like in Science of Mind 100, the early level courses. And one day, James, when I was at James Mellon's church, he walks into the center and he makes this announcement from the stage. He's the spiritual director, so on some level with the ecclesiastical, he doesn't have to run this past anybody, he just decides what he wants to do, right? So he walks up on stage and he says, I'm going to start this program, it's called Spiritual Boot Camp. And he had just conceived of this idea that morning while he was driving into the center, and he said, so what this is going to be, it's going to be 16 weeks. That's what comes out of his mouth. It's going to be 16 weeks, and we're going to meet twice a week, 7:30 a.m. at the center, and I'm going to take only the first 10 people that sign up. And he had 10 people like that. And it was an amazing experience. I was not in that first class, but I was in the second class, and it has developed into what is now he calls mental muscle, and his book is Mental Muscle. It's an incredible program. And I'm just really moved by it this week. And there are actually the core values, or the core ideas, the core principles of that program are really what I want to talk about today, and talk about engaging them as a spiritual practice, because that's what Spiritual Boot Camp is all about. And so, I did say on the Friday video, if any of you watched it, this is in honor of the Pan Am Games. right? And why is it in honor of the Pan Am Games? Not just because it's a metaphor. We're building our mental muscle, right? It's in honor of the Pan Am Games because we as spiritual practitioners, each and every one of us, whether we're licensed or not, we're all spiritual practitioners, we must maintain our spiritual strength. We must maintain our spiritual strength. And that means we need to keep working at it. We need to keep going to that spiritual gym. The good news is you don't need a gym membership. You already have the membership by virtue of just being who you are. That's the exciting part of this. And so, there are some core values of mental muscle, of spiritual boot camp, that I'm going to invite you all to take part in starting this week. Now, I'm going to ask you first, how did it go last week? Just check in with yourself. Now, this is rhetorical. Do you remember the directive last week? Yes. Yes. Do I need to define rhetorical? All right, clearly it's not a rhetorical question. Do you remember the directive last week? Which was, well, now, do you remember the directive last week?
Yes.
Okay. I did just then say it's not going to be rhetorical. Okay. Now this is rhetorical. Did you take part in it? Did you actively allow yourself to take part in the directive last week? The directive last week, for those of you who may not know, may not remember, or were not here, was this. Commit yourself to taking 1 hour every single day to do something that fills you with bliss. Making that commitment, that is a spiritual practice. That is one way that we build our mental muscle. And I'm so grateful because I actually got an email from someone who watches us online, and she wrote to me and she said, I am so grateful for the way that this ministry has moved forward and that you're giving practical tools, you're giving directives every week. So today is going to be more about directives. Today is more about directives. The first tool of spiritual boot camp is this, meditation. Now, for some people, the idea of meditation sends them into cold sweats because they think, how can I possibly sit and do nothing? And if that is your thought, it is exactly why you must meditate. We have a meditation practice that we have begun here every Wednesday at 6 p.m. It's a great opportunity to come. And if you don't know how to meditate, I'm going to teach you how to meditate very quickly and easily. One method for meditation, there are myriad methods for meditation, but one method for meditation is to simply allow yourself to sit and be quiet and be still and know. That's it. Now, people may go, oh, but, I try and sit there and, it's 10 minutes. That's an awfully long time. And I'm going to say start with 5 minutes. If you can't get to 10, one thing that you'll soon realize is that you'll start meditating and 45 minutes will go by like that, and you'll think that you've been meditating for 10, and oh my gosh, it's an overwhelming, different life you're experiencing. But if in meditation, this is what's happening in your mind, I'm going to allow myself to come to that place of quiet. I'm going to allow that mind to simply rest right where it is. And in your mind, you're going, yeah, but I have to do the dishes, and I've got to remember to do the laundry, and oh my gosh, what am I going to have for dinner tonight? I really thought about having, some pizza, but that's probably not the best choice for me, so I should probably go and have something that's a little more healthy, like salad. Yeah, salad would be really good. And it continues, right? If that is what's happening in your mind, one of the most difficult things to understand about meditation is that you should not try to stop it. Don't try to stop it. Don't put effort into stopping it. Allow it to be. Allow what is happening in your mind to simply happen. This is one method. And as you allow it to happen, start to recognize the space in between the words. And as you recognize the space in between the words, begin to allow that space to expand. You'll find yourself coming to a place of calm, of centeredness. The monkey mind will dissipate. It takes practice. So, if you cannot If you're not someone who has meditated, and I'm going to say, start building that mental muscle this week. Spiritual boot camp starts now. Meditate this week. Commit to yourself. Now, I'm not going to say take an hour. Commit yourself, if you're just starting out with this, to 5 minutes every single day. Can we all find 5 minutes in a day? Yes. We can all find 5 minutes in a day. Commit yourself to 5 minutes in a day. If you're a longtime meditator, you know what's appropriate for you. And simply allow yourself to come to that place of centeredness, where everything else simply washes away. Once you are at 5 minutes, allow yourself to then begin to expand that to whatever feels right. I mean, I've read many different things about meditation, and they say once you get to 20, that's kind of like where you really begin to go deep. When you get to 20 minutes is where it begins. And that is pretty much my experience now. It takes me about 20 minutes to get there, and then, so start slow. When you go to the gym, you don't decide you're going to bench press 300 pounds. Of course, how many people can bench press 300 pounds? Not a lot. But you're not going to start off lifting the heaviest weight, right? So allow yourself to start where you are. Allow yourself to start where you are. And there's a great metaphor and a great spiritual tool, spiritual practice for life. Start right where you are. I have a tendency, Dane will tell you, we went to the gym this week. For the first time in months. We go to the gym, and I get in there and I'm like, yeah, I can still do what I was doing several months ago, and I get in there and I'm lifting, and I'm like, oh yeah, lifting. And big mistake. Because the next day, everything seized up, basically. Big mistake. This is what I don't want to have happen to anyone who is new to this. Now, I've worked everything out. I may be calling Charose. But for the most part, it's worked out. But you probably see, Charose is very attentive to movement and body movement. She's probably already noticed, I'm just guessing here, that I can turn my head very easily this way, and I can't so much that way. Just because that's where I get it mostly, is right there. Anyway, more than you needed to know. Start where you are. Don't try and do the heavy lifting at first. Because as you develop, you will build that mental muscle. The second part of spiritual boot camp is communication. Communication. And this is not just what you're saying. This is becoming acutely aware of how you are expressing in the world. Because everything is communication. What I say is communication. How I carry myself is communication. Music is communication. Silence is communication. Begin to be aware of how you are expressing to the world. Now, this is different from assuming how you are being perceived by the world. There is a difference here, because I can become acutely aware of how I am holding myself, how I am speaking, the words I'm saying, and you may be perceiving it in a completely different way. Now, the reason I say don't get caught up in how you are being perceived is because for as many people who are in here is as many different ways I am being perceived. I am not in charge of the way any of you are perceiving me. No one that you are encountering is in charge. You are not in charge of the way anyone you are encountering is perceiving you. All you can do is communicate from a place of integrity. And that's what's really important to me, to communicate from a place of integrity, to recognize that as I walk through this world, as I walk through this experience of life, to be in integrity means to express my wholeness, because that's what integrity means. It means wholeness. It means cohesive wholeness. Everything is whole. So, I do not want to belie my integrity in anything I do. That's a choice that I make. So how do you communicate? What is it, and this is rhetorical, how is it that you communicate to the world? What is that within you which is longing to be expressed by means of you? Because you will be communicating that whether you're saying it out loud or not. So as you are experiencing meditation, you may become more aware of what it is that is coming up through you to be expressed to the world. Meditation, communication. Through communication, how you express to the world, you will begin to experience something called intention. Because that is the activity of communication. Meditation, communication, intention. What is it that you intend to be? Notice I didn't say what is it you intend to do. What is it you intend to be? For me, I have an intention of expressing only as God and recognizing God in every single person I experience. That is who I choose to be. This is how I choose to show up. So what is it that you choose to be? That will naturally turn itself into the way you do things in the world. But it comes from the being, not the doing. So getting more in touch with the beingness is your intention. With intention comes attention. Are you paying attention? Are you paying attention? We have a lot of things in our lives that keep us from paying attention. A lot of new tools, great new tools. Again, I said a few weeks ago, I love my smartphone. It's a great tool, but it is something that can keep me from paying attention to what's actually happening in my sphere right around me. And I lie to myself on some level when I look at my phone and think, this is what's happening in the world. Because I read the news on the phone a lot, and I can look and see what's happening on the other side of the world. But you know what's the most important news in my life? What is happening in my sphere. Because that's what I ultimately have control of. I can know the truth about what I'm reading on my phone. Absolutely, I can do that. But what is so much more important to me is what is happening right here, right now. Pay attention. Be aware. So we've got meditation, communication, intention, attention, and then the one that, may make people's heads really explode. And that is accountability. How are you accountable? How do you hold yourself accountable? And how do you express yourself in a way that is accountable to the world around you? This is a hard one for people because this goes to the root of part of this teaching, which is personal responsibility. Oh gosh. When I understand that God is consciousness and that I am part of that, I can no longer blame God for the ills of my experience. I can no longer blame anything outside of myself because if I go back to this quote, God is consciousness, not a creator. God is the source of creation itself. It is not independent of you. It is the totality of everything. So when I call myself God, I am not talking about my personal self. I am talking about the expression of the God self that rests inside of me. The verb. The verb. Each and every one of us is the verb. We are the thing that is the doer of the being. I had to think about that because by saying the being, it seems like I'm putting it outside of the self. I don't intend to do that. Actually, how about this? We are the doer of the beingness. That we are that which is doing the work of the beingness. It is not God willing us to do anything. It is our divine will that is impelling us to do the work that we do in this world. And so, accountability is how do you hold yourself true to that ideal so that you no longer put the blame on anything outside of the self. You can no longer be a victim to anything. You cannot be victimized by anyone, because if it is in your experience, oh, this is the hard one for people. If it is in your experience, you created it. Oh, gosh. Now, the good news is this. If you created it, you can recreate it. But don't get hung up on what was created, because that will keep you pulled back into the past. That's not being held accountable. Being held accountable is to know that in every given moment you have the capacity to know something new. And by the knowing something new, you do something new. That is the impulse of the divine through you. Each and every one of us is the doer of the beingness. The minute you separate yourself from it, you immediately become a limited being. How many of us want to experience life as a limited being? Rhetorical. I don't. I don't want to experience life as a limited being. I want to understand, know that everything that I experience is coming from that intuitive, intelligent, omniscient, omnipresent, omnipotent source. And to trust in that. Because as I trust in that, more and more and more and more and more, life becomes blissful. You no longer need that hour of bliss, because life, the experience of life, becomes blissful. And this is not to say that life becomes happy ha-ha all the time. When things seem sad, right? You can experience grief and know that it is still part of the blissful experience of life, because you have established in your own mind the mental tools required for addressing life as it is being experienced by you. You are no longer run over by the circumstances of life. You are the one who is in charge of the experience of your life. And so the circumstances, when we are in line with that, when we have truly built that mental muscle, when we have gotten in line with that, everything that shows up is within our capacity to address and handle brilliantly. Because some things feel much more weighty than others, don't they? If you build the mental muscle, you can lift those things. That's the great news. The great news today. There are thoughts going on in my head, and I'm not sure that I should express them. Well, there's this concept of the good news, right? There's the concept of the good news in some traditional Christian philosophies, and I just want to say, if you really want to know the good news, that's the good news. You are in charge of your experience. There is nothing outside of you that has any bearing on anything that is you, unless you allow it. And so, letting go of those things which are, at the end of the day, seemingly not in your control, letting them go and trusting and knowing that you are in control of everything that you can be in control of, which at the end of the day is everything, you begin to experience that life of bliss, even in the sorrow, even in the grief, even in the anger, even in all of it. I'm hinting at this movie that I talked about last week too. If you haven't seen Inside Out, you must see it, because I really want to talk about it a lot from up here, but I want to wait till everybody's seen it. So I'll wait until it's left the theaters and trust that you've all seen it by then. Then I'll talk about it and I won't feel bad. Allowing yourself to be the whole self. That's what spiritual boot camp and building your mental muscle is really all about. And so this week, I would like each and every one of you to do this. Put your attention on those things. Meditation, meditate every single day. Meditation, intention, attention, I missed one. Meditation, communication, intention, attention, and accountability. Does that make sense? All right. Are you ready to build that mental muscle? Are you ready to truly step into it and really get on board with shifting your life for the better if you choose to do so? Remember, it is a choice. I'm not telling you you have to. I'm saying it is an opportunity for you if you want it to be there. Use these tools this week: meditation, communication, intention, attention, and accountability. Step into that. That is what I offer to you today, and I look forward to hearing all about it. You can, by the way, you can all send me email. I'm totally fine with sending email. I do get a lot of emails, so it may take me a day or two to respond, but you can always send me an email. Pick up cards in the lobby. Let me know how things are going for you. I want to hear. I want to know. And if there is something that is not working out for you, let's address it together. Does that sound like a good plan? I'll be here as your coach and as your guide, and I'm grateful to each and every one of you for your attention today and for expressing your love right here and right now. Namaste. I'm going to invite you to take what it is you have to offer today in terms of a financial contribution to the center, and I'll invite anyone who's online to participate in supporting the center financially as well through your givingness and through your consciousness. If you'd like to make a donation, you can click that donate button on your screen there. Whether it's your step-up card, whether it's a check, whether it's cash, allow yourself to hold that and recognize the power within it. That the idea of money is simply that, it is an idea. And we are the ones who give it value through the use of our intelligent mind. And so, the good that this thing does, this thing that you're holding in your hand, the good that it does is expressed by means of this center and through the wisdom and integrity of this board of trustees of this center. I trust and know that it is expressed brilliantly, and I commit myself to utilizing these funds in a way that is in integrity and always for the highest good. And I trust and know that this is simply a stop in the larger expression of currency. As we give, so we receive. So breathing into that, as the baskets go around, we're going to sing I Love, correct?
Yes.
Yes, we're going to sing I Love. So I invite you, if you'd like to stand up and stretch and dance with us, it is welcomed.
And encouraged.
And encouraged. I live, I breathe, I give, I receive, I laugh, I love, I'm a part of what's here, what has been, what's still to be seen. I live, I breathe, I love, love, love. I live, I breathe, I love. I live, I breathe, I give, I receive, I laugh, I love, I'm a part of what's here, what has been, what's still to be seen. I live, I breathe, I love, love, love. I live, I breathe, I love. I live, I breathe, I love. Beautiful. I'm going to invite Charose to do a blessing over this beautiful offering.
I give thanks. Thanks for this wonderful bounty given here and online. I give thanks for this wonderful energy released into circulation, an expression of good of God, knowing that it is given with love. It is given in peace and in harmony, and it goes forth to do magnificent work through the Center for Spiritual Living. And I know that even as it is received and goes forth to express itself as good and God, it is returned to the giver multiplied. And so I'm so grateful for this knowing, this understanding. I'm so grateful for the idea that is the Center for Spiritual Living Toronto expressing itself, manifesting, growing, and reaching more and more people, events, an expression of good in God. I am grateful. I release this word into the law of mind, and I say, and so it is. And so it is. Thank you. Thanks. Thanks.
Thank you, Sharose. I want to. You have the announcements. I've got them here. Thank you. So I do want to put out another pitch for Dean and Michelle next week. They are coming to us all the way from Los Angeles, and this is the opportunity that they have to be with us. And what I want you to know about them is this: Dean is a nutritionist, and he is a personal trainer. He is all of these things, which are lovely and can teach us how to, strengthen the physical body. He is partnered with Michelle, who is a licensed practitioner, a licensed spiritual practitioner. And actually, Michelle was in one of the first classes that I TA'd with James Mellon. She is one of James Mellon's students and a brilliant mind. She had an idea in her mind before committing herself to something new in her experience, and this was the idea that she had in her mind. This is, and I think many of us may have the same idea, at my age, I can't possibly lose this weight. I have X amount of pounds in excess, and I can't lose my weight because I'm at that age where you cannot do that. This was her idea. And so what was her experience? Her experience is based exactly on the idea that she has in mind. And so as a licensed practitioner, she began to take charge through building her own mental muscle that allowed her to completely transform her physical body. She lost 30 pounds by the use of mind and stepping into what came to her, which was Dean. And so they have partnered together to bring these qualities, these principles of spirit and body together. And that's what they're really coming here to talk about next week. And I'm so excited to have them here because really, diets don't work. They don't work. Changing your mind, that's what works. And so if you have any interest, and I trust, I'm going to be here. I'm so excited to have them here. I think there's always room for something new to be known. And I'm really excited to have them here. Also, keep an eye out because in the next week or two, I am going to be opening up registration for our fall classes, among which are Mental Muscle, Prosperity Plus, the Live Your Decision Day, which is a full-day workshop on the power of decision, as well as the Basic Tools for Life Transformation, which is, if you're new to this philosophy, it's a great introductory course, 8 weeks of learning how to utilize the science of mind in your life. We also have a workshop coming up in August that'll be led by our very own, I was about to say Reverend Judy Southern. There is something in that. It's going to be led by our licensed practitioner, Judy Southern, seeing the spiritual side of dementia. And really excited to have her share her wisdom and knowledge with us at that workshop. So, those are my pitches. I'm going to invite you to relax right where you are. Allow yourself to come to that place of centered awareness again. For right here, right in this very moment, there is nothing other than God. There is nothing other than consciousness. There is nothing other than love. Allow yourself to breathe in that idea. Love is all there is. Love is all there is. Love is all there is. I'm going to use this beautiful chant of Donna Michael, Reverend Donna Michael, as a way of centering ourselves today as we close out this experience. We are one mind, we are one heart, one in love and light. We are one mind, we are one heart, one in love and light. We are one mind, we are one heart, we are one in love and light. We are one mind, we are one heart, we are one in love and light. We are one mind, we are one heart, one in love and light. We are one mind, we are one heart, one in love and light. We are one mind, we are one heart, we are one in love and light. We are one mind, we are one heart, we are one in love and light. And so I take this opportunity to remind myself in this moment, right here, right now, of these beautiful words that have been shared with the world. God is consciousness. God is the source of creation itself. It is the totality of everything. It is the verb, the energy. I am fully aligned with this presence, with this power, with this love. And I trust and know that each and every person here is fully aligned with expressing as this perfect energy. All that unfolds in the lives of each and every one of us is a result of a deeper expression of this energy in everything. For what we think shows up in what we do. I trust this and I know this, and I simply allow this to be, knowing that all that shows up in my life, and I trust that all that is showing up in the lives of every single person touched by this experience of service today is good and is for the highest benefit of life experience, and it is all unfolding with grace and with ease and ultimately bliss. And so I live in the blissful blessing of God consciousness. For this, I am truly grateful. It is in gratitude that I allow this to be, and I'm grateful for everyone who came together to make this experience the perfect experience that it is. And it is perfect in this moment because of the work and the volunteer efforts of our brilliant board members, Margaret Ann and Linda, through the brilliant leadership of our volunteer coordinator and her glorious expression setting up today, Lori. I am in deep gratitude for Carol and Margaret Ann, our greeters today. Grateful for Chris in the bookstore, Dane on sound, Jim on our webcast. Grateful for Mahalo with our dynamic kid today. I am grateful to Pierre Gautreau and the entire Queen Street Band, and I am grateful to welcome Stephen Belair back with us. I am in gratitude for Judy and her meditation this morning. And I am in gratitude for Charose and her brilliant words of wisdom and the God consciousness that she brings, that she shows up with in all aspects of her experience in life. And I'm grateful for every single person here, every single person watching online. I am grateful. And so it is in gratitude that I simply allow this word to be. I relax, I release, I allow, I let go of any perception of how it has to be, and I trust in the unfoldment of God consciousness in life right here and right now. So in stepping out of the way, I let it be so, as together we say, and so it is. We are one mind, we are one heart, one in love and light. We are one mind, we are one heart, one in love and light. We are one mind, we are one heart, one in love and light. We are one mind, we are one heart, one in love and light. One in love and light. Thank you all so much. We're going to send it out into the street today with Ordinary Day. I need to talk for a second because they're getting themselves all set up. You ready? He's tuning, he's tuning, he's tuning. I don't know what to say. I feel like I've said it all. Any questions? You good?
No questions.
No questions. Pierre Gautreau, the Queen Street Band. Thank you all very much. Have a great week.
I got a smile on my face, I got fools around me. I got the sun in the sky, all the water surrounds me. Oh, hey, oh, yeah, I win now, but sometimes I lose. I've been battered, but I never bruise. It's not so bad. And I say, well, hey, hey, it's just an ordinary day, and it's all your state of mind. At the end of the day, you just gotta say it's alright. It's alright. Janie sings on the corner, what keeps her from dying? Yeah, let them say what they want, she won't stop trying. She might stumble if they push her around. She might fall, but she'll never lie down. It's not so bad. And I say, hey, 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 it's just an ordinary day, and it's all your state of mind. At the end of the day, you just gotta say it's alright. It's alright. Come on, Stephen. In this beautiful life, there's always some sorrow. And it's a double-edged knife, but there's always tomorrow. Oh, hey, oh. It's up to you now if you sink or swim. Just keep the faith and your ship will come in. It's not so bad. And I say, well, hey, hey, it's just an ordinary day, and it's all your state of mind. At the end of the day, you just gotta say it's alright. Hey, hey, it's just an ordinary day, and it's all your state of mind. At the end of the day, you just gotta say it's alright. It's alright. It's alright, it's alright. I've got a smile on my face. I've got walls around me.
Have an awesome week.